Hi, sixth grade. Today's lesson is 13.9, area of rectangles and squares. So hopefully you remember a little of this from maybe fourth or fifth grade math. We're going to go through the basics and then add on our sixth grade level of work. So first of all, just a reminder of how to find area of a square and of rectangle. So if you look at the top of page 464, it reminds you in the red outlined box that area of a square is side times side, or side squared. So for a square, area equals side times side, or side squared. So looking at the example, towards the middle of page 464, they have a square that is 9.5 centimeters on one side. So of course that makes it 9.5 centimeters on each side. Remember that area is the space inside of the figure. So if you've got a square, then the area is all this space in here, all the way to every edge and every space, even though I didn't color that all in. So if it is 9.5 centimeters, then of course, because it's a square, it's 9.5 centimeters over here, and that's your side times side. So area equals 9.5 times 9.5. So going over here to do our work, 9.5 times 9.5. We've got 25, carry the 2. That's 45 and 2 more is 47. Put our 0. 9 times 5 is 45, carry the 4. 9 times 9 is 81, 4 more is 85. And then we add, that's 5, that's 12, that's 10, and that is 9. Then we've got 2 decimal places represented up in the problem. So we represent that by coming over 2 decimal places in our answer. And so A equals 90.25, and that was centimeters. Okay, then your rectangle. So we'll get to that equation. Rectangle, A equals, there are 2 different ways to, one way to do this. Now I'm mixing up perimeter and area. One way to do this. Wow, one way to do this. That's length times width. And so they give us the example in the book towards the right, about halfway down the page, 10.5 feet and 16 2/3 feet. Okay, so we've got our length of 16 2/3. A equals 16 2/3 times 10.5 is our width. Okay, 2 different ways that we can solve this problem. That's what I was sort of getting to before. I will show you each way. The first way, we're going to keep these as fractions, and I'll show you how that works here. We're going to have to make them improper fractions. So we need to multiply 3 times 16, which is 48, add in 2, which is 50, and that stays thirds, times 2 times 10 is 20, 1 more is 21, and that stays halves. Remember that we can simplify here. Both of these are divisible by 3, that's 1, that's 7. Both these are divisible by 2, that's 1, that's 25. Now multiplying across, we've got 25 times 7, that's 175 over 1. Well, okay, as you know, that's 175. And again, that was feet, so the area would be 175 feet. Now, the other thing we can do here is we could also have changed these to decimals. So we could have changed 16 2/3 to 16.66, that is the decimal, 0.66 is the decimal for 2/3, times 10.5 because it was 10.5, and then doing our multiplication, we're gonna have to work real low over on this side of the board, bear with me. 10.5, got to move my eraser too. So we've got 30, carry the 3, 33, carry the 3, 33, carry the 3, and 8. Okay, then we can put in 2 zeros, skip the 0 and go right to the 1. We've got 6, 6, 6, and 1. And are adding way low down here. and then we had 3 decimal places, 1, 2, 3, and that brings us to A equals 174.930, which we could round up to 175, which is what we got when we used the fractions. So you can use either method, the fraction method or the decimal method. Okay, the next thing I want to point out to you is right by the orange arrow, a little more than halfway down the page. Let me do a little erasing here. So we're going to look at how to find the area of a sort of an odd looking figure, not just a square or a rectangle. As you can see towards the bottom of the page, the figure's over to the right. You sort of got a rectangle there, and then it goes into a part of a square, and then you've got another rectangle down here. Okay, then we need to do some labeling. So we've got 4 labeled here, we've got 5 here, 3 here, 2 over here, and 8 here. Now by the 8 there are 2 dashes, which tells me that the 2 dashes that are over here make that 8 as well. Let's see, what else do we have? I think, oh no, we've got one more over here. So 3 was labeled with 1 dash, and so that makes this a 3 as well. And then I think that's all of them. Let me just double check my work. Yes. Okay, so what we have to do here is we have to break this up into 3 separate figures. So this figure here is a rectangle. We've got a square here, and then we've got another rectangle here. Okay, and then you can hopefully see a little bit of how we're going to do the work to find area. So the area of this rectangle here is length times width, 8 times 4, which is 32. Here we have a square, and so that area is side times side, or side squared, so 3 times 3, which is 9. Here we've got a rectangle, so we need length times width, 8 times 2, which is 16. Now that we have the individual areas, we need to bring all of those together to get the area of the entire figure. So we're going to add them, 32 and 9 and 16. So just jot those down somewhere, 32, 9, and 16. So we've got 9 and 6 is 15, 2 more is 17, carry the 1, 1 and 3 is 4, 1 more is 5, 57 meters is what that was. Okay, so when you have odd figures like this, you just have to break them down into pieces and then use your formulas for rectangles here and square here, and then add up all of the answers that you get individually to get your total area for your figure. Okay, so that's what's going to happen over on page 465 with your work, and then in workbook page 180 as well. Looking for fractions there, we've got a 1/2 fraction. You know you can change that to 0.50 if you want. I do see a 2/3 fraction there. Remember that 0.66. I see 1/3 there, that's 0.33. And I think that's it for fractions. So please, again, email me if you have any questions. I can walk you through this step by step. I can do some more examples on another video, whatever we need to work our way through this. So thanks for your patience with me today and yesterday. I hope you have a great Friday. Thank you.